We are ready. I'd like to call to order the Town of Ulysses Board of Zoning Appeals meeting for August 2025. Members in attendance tonight are Karen Metter, thanks Karen, see you. Cheryl Thompson, Kim Moore is here, and me, Steve Morelli. Also in attendance are our town planner Niels Tigeson and Molly Dool, who will be documenting our proceedings tonight. Our town board liaison, anybody here? Anybody in Zoom land? No, what's that? No. Okay, good. Before we continue, Kim is not yet a standing member, correct? And so if that's because not, I'd like to hear a motion to appoint Kim as voting member for tonight.
I move to appoint Kim as a voting member.
A second.
Seconded. Any discussion on that? Discussion is yes, I like that a lot. Call the vote.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, good. Thanks. Thanks once again for helping bail us out. Okay. Anybody have anything they want to contribute to tonight's agenda? Other than what's you have anything?
Maybe move the minutes to the end. Or do we want to do them
Okay, I could do that.
or something else?
So the suggestion is to move the minutes to the end. That okay for everybody?
I second that.
So, okay, good. All right, we'll do that. Yep, good. Excellent. So we'll move right skip that first, although I have some copious notes on those, so don't think you're getting off scot-free here. No, but they were a really good job as usual. Easy. First item of new business is discussion proposal of a proposal by the applicant and owner Paul McGuire Properties 31910 LLC. Will apply for minor subdivision with the planning board to subdivide the existing 3.12 acre lot into two lots. Parcel 1, approximately 1.22 acres, and parcel 2, approximately 1.9 acres. For the Code of Town of Ulysses, CTU 212-40.j, the maximum permitted lot coverage for a lot in the R zone is 7.5%. With the proposed subdivision, the lot coverage for parcel 2 would be approximately 25.5%. The applicant submitted a concurrent area variance request to exceed the maximum permitted lot coverage by approximately 18%. So that's an additional 18% for the proposed parcel 2. The property proposed for subdivision is at 319 Pennsylvania Avenue. Okay, is the appellant here tonight, a representative? And you want to state your case to us? That'd be great. Hi.
Good evening. Casey Ryder, for the applicant.
Hi.
So, just quickly, the area variance that you said is required because we're asking for something. So, as you know, the property church for this question. Saying that. So once the church sold it, it obviously reverted back to zone and keep paying money for So the contract purchase you sell the parent required something so that sell it reacquire the property in the event Paul sells it. So I would preserve the price of across the back. That's what's house.
And his wife's sister is behind, and it's her kind of front lawn that's missing. So that's part of it.
Serving to protect it as vacant. So that's the only purpose of something. Having some relevant so so in subdivision triggers the deeper area because of the so lot coverage only exceeds the limit of turned into a house. There's no lot coverage. There are different calculations for lot coverage and resident. So again, we're not going to build them from paving sidewalks, did some of that. Just better numbers and new higher, line coverage. So, kind of built, satisfied, coverage ratios. Residential satisfied. So. Asking for assistance to continue using commercial purposes that you accept. I think.
Did we get anything, but don't go away. We probably have some questions for you. Did the town receive any written comments on this that we haven't seen yet? I don't think I've seen any.
There's some great packet.
Yeah. Did I expect it? Yeah, that's the one we discussed.
It's actually from Bill and all the neighbors. Looks like all the neighbors.
Okay, yeah, great. Let's see that. Thanks.
I love this idea. I think it's a really big need
Like
in this
issue.
community.
Great.
So I really love where you're going with this. And Hayden, thank you for explaining, because that was my only question when I was reading through this is like, I was like, why are you subdividing it if Phil's probably gonna buy it and has first rights to it, but now it's because I got where you're coming from. That
In the
puts it all together for me.
You know, 1 year. I don't plan to sell it. I love having it. In fact, you could have events there outdoors, you know, just under a tent or just to walk around for pictures. That's and
So
I like to walk my dog around.
You're right. The subdivision, you would retain it. Yeah, keep it as
Yeah,
part of
it's still-
the community
I still
center.
own it. It just was part of it still.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Great.
Right, so I'd like to continue this if you don't mind, but first I want to open the public portion of the hearing in order to hear comments from the public on this variance request only. If you'd like to make a comment, don't forget to state your name and limit yourself to brief relevant comments would be great. So I'm opening it up to people to chime in, give their opinion, express their satisfaction or dissatisfaction.
I'm Dawn. I live right around the corner on South Podunk, so I walk by it. Well, the idea that you're keeping all it natural, so it's not gonna be built. My concern is being a Lion. There's a lot of times we have a venue that we want to hold something. Parking's a huge issue in Trumansburg because our club is centrally located in our district, which is quite large. I'm concerned about having anywhere from 30 to 60 cars because we be parking up and down Pennsylvania. And we don't want to like be rude to the neighbors or interfere with people walking with their strollers or their dogs. So I know the church doesn't get a lot of parking. So most can be
28 spaces.
28 spaces doesn't take care of a whole lot. What's that? Now, I'm gonna throw this out. When the lot gave over, we would have parking on that lot. That the right lot. For overflow parking without putting any concrete or anything. So like parking on lawn, yes, yes. We're
Like
cool
that.
with that because Yeah, then that's we what can leave the I have. page for, you know, the Lion that has ALS or in a wheelchair or something. Because I already discussed, I'm so on board for.
You don't wanna
doing something.
upset anybody, so.
Exactly, I'm
Thank
trying
you
not
for
to
your
write
comments.
yeah, but my concern is the parking and inconveniencing the neighbors.
Yes, sure.
And I
Thank
grew
you.
up across the street. So, I love it over there. I don't want, and I'm gonna be living over that way, about a year. And I do have another rental over there. So. I do not want tons of cars on that road. I think it would be very bad. I don't want kids to get hit by a car. Which is something I'm concerned about, even if we have overflow parking in that lot and just in general, you know, I don't want people to get rowdy. I know.
I know,
So,
I just want to
but
understand.
in my
I'm
head-
so for this.
Yes, so in my head, so originally my brother was there, that lot. And in my head, I agree, there wasn't a lot of parking. You know, it looks big, but it really doesn't have that much parking. So I thought, well, in the event I wanna do like a little bit of a bigger event that still fits with town. They have, it should literally just, there's a space where you can drive over it if it's legal. I hope it, that was something that.
Okay, well, we'll have more questions and discussion with you. That'd be great between us though. Thank you. That was great. That was very helpful. Yes. That's good. Anybody else, in the audience? We see we got somebody online too. Okay, so no further comments from the public. I'm gonna close this portion of the open portion of this hearing. I want to open it to the board and let's start. I like your discussion. I like where you're going. And anybody have other questions you want to ask? I know I do.
Well, I think it was very informative about the plans. And that it seems like it's a pretty significant increase in percentage lot coverage. However, if you consider this as functionally continuing to be a single property, then with the two parcels combined, it's well within the coverage area restrictions. So I guess the question would be, though the intent is not to ever develop it, should there be some specific restriction in that regard?
Like a condition, are you saying in the condition of approval?
I'm just asking, yeah.
I'm open to that, but I'm just throwing this out. Does that mean it's always that way, so that if I sold it to my brother? We sold,
Yeah, we would obviously, there's not interested in.
Yeah.
Restrictions.
It would be a deed
it would be
restriction.
residential, right? It would just be. Anything be built there? Like the
Well, if
house?
you do that, then a house could be built.
Yeah, so, okay.
What was your statement?
Any development will get separate law, subject to site plan approval, but. It's required by its own, so. And second, third, right, and deciding. Control.
But if that's a separate lot, that gets has the right to put a house up, correct? Primary dwelling, Niels?
Correct.
So that's not necessarily true.
I would just be administrative of our planning board. Provided the structure and that all set those limits.
So someone wants to build a house, they own it, you just get permits to build and that's it. So it's not quite accurate what you said. We wouldn't get a chance to.
My point was, it has to comply, whatever they do with the property, has to comply with it. So.
That's right. That's right. And the zoning laws would permit another structure up there. So that other lot, that separate lot, by making it that, gives it the full rights to, as long as you comply, you can do what you want.
Which bypasses the need for a restriction. Because in itself, if somebody decides to do something with the property, they still have to go through the proper channels.
Only the zoning channels. They don't go through this channel.
Right. Yeah.
So a deed restriction would be condition of approval, and I guess I'm just running.
Well, I guess
opening up
another
scenario.
thought to think about, if the property stayed as it is, would another structure be able to be built there right now?
It's a good question. Probably, I mean, boy, you would be loading up. Yeah, it's a good question.
Because I
Do the
think
calculations on it.
that would have an impact as to the question of what impact is the variance having. And I would add, I think it's very helpful that the neighbors all currently approve this, but if the neighbors believe that the lot is being protected as a vacant lot going forward, we wouldn't want them to have been misled.
Right.
If 5 years from now, there's a house there.
There was robust discussion in planning board what we can have with all of the there. And there was no discussion about there. There's data. And you're recording. So
Is there a way though, that if we do put a deed restriction on there, it would be okay? Right? that would be protected.
Do you really want to go that route, though? I
Not
mean,
necessarily.
I think what I struggle with deed restrictions is we're making a decision based right now, right? You know where you're going, you know what the neighbors say. Who knows what's gonna happen in 10 years, and it has to go through process. So
Right.
it's, if the property gets sold and somebody wants to build, they're still gonna have to come and get a building permit. It's gonna have to go through some sort of process.
Well, let's take another example. She sells the church and they turn it into a house and home got two residential lots. There is no non-conforming part of. That would be perfectly usable as a residence. Right, somebody could move in and live there without area variance, without any approvals whatsoever, and you could subdivide it.
Get upon
Period.
approval,
Subdivide.
right?
So a house is buildable on the other one. She does that, so we don't really want to give that up because it's certainly possible. That if someday it gets turned into a residence, right, and then you've got deed restrictions, and you can't build a house and you're on the lot next door. That doesn't make sense.
So it's good. I like your argument, but it's a little bit spinning away from where I'm thinking, which is you're creating a situation where you have about 300, when it's 340% of the allotted minimum coverage. Then we'd be by okaying this, and then we'd be creating another opening for yet more on that same property. So it's got, you know, it can go different directions, and the thinking is that I don't like deed restrictions for the some of the reasons Kim's presenting. You know, it's like it's a little bit tough, and I really like to look for other alternatives. And what are other alternatives here? But I thought I was hardened by you saying you didn't want that to be developed and you want it to be open. So
I personally, yes. And just so you know, an example of the deed restriction that we had to work around buying the church is they put their form in and I don't know all the rules, but they don't restrict it or they don't. It was in the deed.
it was in the deed.
When we first, so when my brother first purchased it, and then I bought it from him, we had to get that changed because I didn't have the vision of buying it. Or that venue. And I was like, well, that's gonna be I don't want hard alcohol, but I'm also like, people do like to have some wine and champagne at a wedding. So we somehow changed it a little with them and they agreed. So it is very restrictive when you.
Oh, that was up to the sellers,
Yeah.
Oh, so you dealt right with the seller. Right.
Like the meat church.
Interesting story, but.
I just, so it's, I know you could go many different.
No, that's good. I appreciate it.
Scenarios.
Thank you.
So, I think we appreciate the fact that it's 300% open, but we're not adding in structures, we're not adding pavement. It's.
No, you're not. No, in
it's
fact,
just a layout.
in
It's
fact,
been
I think
40
your
years.
question was a good one. Like, well, would that make it more favorable? I think that's something to concentrate on here, but let me hear from Cheryl. Yeah,
So we're talking about parking, really, is what we're talking about.
part of it, yeah.
I mean, that's how this came up is like, will you need more parking? Like, have you done that with the planning board where you say what the capacity for your venue would be and then they tell you how much parking you need or?
We haven't even. I
Mhm.
was just thinking in a scenario, like, there's not a lot of parking when I purchased it. Originally my brother was gonna keep that lot, try to correct the lot first. And he would be standing here right now. But in the end, when I looked at the parking, and also I love that lot, I really truly I love the land, I love walking around it, I love it. And it just didn't seem right to have just that one portion if I was gonna invest in all of, this project. So in the last minute, I did purchase it from this additional lot. But with the restriction that he could buy it if I ever sold it. As a commercial business.
I don't believe that. Required in any form to get an approval for parking situation.
Yeah, there's requirements for parking.
So for the last department.
Oh, good.
Yes, actually, it's box.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, yep.
Just to clarify your parking, okay. So we're not changing, we're not adding any parking spaces from what the Norman Church had there.
Mhm.
And we're not changing the capacity of people that can use the building, that's static. It's like 100 and something people in one space and like, the numbers of people allotted per room are not changing. And
Oh.
parking lot that's there is not changing. We're actually just beautifying it a little bit. We're taking a few spaces to create bioswales so that we can drain water better in this site. And our proposal is just to beautify it with gardens and trails, that kind of thing, so.
Parking requirements for accessibility. So
Yeah.
providing-
Right.
But there's not, there are usually parking requirements for the venue.
So the venues remaining at commercial venues, they always have been, and I'm guessing.
But commercial is a little different than a church, isn't, I
The
mean,
requirement would come from code. And it's a code issue with parking.
zoning, would come from zoning,
with
not building,
zoning.
yeah.
And then, so it would be just, client would want to show something. There are ratios for office and commercial.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking, that maybe that parking might not be adequate for the use.
Well, the more-
And for that capacity, honestly, I mean, that's a lot, do you think that parking is adequate for that capacity?
Well, it has to be the one. Seriously, so I
think on one side there was a plan that said 198, on one side, 198 for the other, on the amount of people, so we don't, that's what we're going off of, but we, yeah, you know. I see this as a pretty far out.
Yeah, 28 spots for 100 and
29, sorry, 28.
for that many people, that's a big family coming in each car.
And the spillover, yeah, to adjacent.
They spill over,
This property that they're, this terrain that they're seeking subdivision for would be the spillover part. So there would be, I know.
Keeping it long.
yeah, I wish I knew more about the zoning requirements for parking, do you know anything about this?
So the town used to have parking ratios, what I'm thinking you're saying, so like. A lot of times, you know, if you have a restaurant, you need one spot for 100 square feet type of thing.
Yeah,
I believe it was on the 2019 update for whatever reason the town. So we don't have ratios. The only thing the town does have is landscape standards and parking design standards. Of the size of the aisles, but it does not say that you need X amount of spaces for square feet for.
I think you're always just trying to allow for infill development and then some for infill development and yeah, to allow growth in
Less
the
parking.
courts and put less restrictions on parking so that the core can grow, allowing the peripheries and the farmlands to.
We also have, you know, I wanna do the right thing well. Have more, have spots.
No, that's not what it's about. She's just.
Well, I know, but we also had too many in there. Right now, it looks like there's less parking than what we really
There's
have, right?
4 ADA spots currently, we would be doing this one. Part of the-
It doesn't even. I also may keep some of that, because, you know.
so if more cars came that could fit in the lot, they'd either go into this area that you're proposing to subdivide off, or they would go on the road. So that's why it's important to us that this lot stays available to you, so is there any way you could wait until you're done using it as a community center to subdivide that off, or maybe there could be a clause that said, if this does get sold, then this can no longer be a community center, and then it could convert back to like a residence with a normal.
That's not the question. Let's not go there.
Let's
That's, all right.
It doesn't.
I'm gonna limit that kind of conversation. I really want to talk about that.
Sorry, I couldn't.
No, yours good.
He's gonna continue to own the piece of property.
Mhm.
So if you have-
Sure, that's great. That's great. But I think let's address Cheryl's question. That's a really good one. Just trying to come up with some solutions here to this thing that could be an issue if a house is built right there. And then you don't have overflow parking, then you're starting to
Right.
have all the cascading issues that are just seem undesirable to a community member and to me, and maybe people on this board.
And to the owner as well, she doesn't want.
And to the
parking on
owner
road.
even, you're
I
saying.
mean, we all understand that we don't really want a lot of parking.
So
on
I
the
like
road.
that. That was a clever, different way. It's not a,
Do I understand your vote be that as long as it's used at the lot stage?
Yes. I think so. I mean,
Yeah.
that seems like it would work with all of the scenarios, but I haven't thought it through a whole lot. I just came up with that.
I'm fine with that.
I'm struggling a little with, we're looking for problems that don't exist yet. So we're assuming that you're talking about weddings with 100 people every weekend versus the Girl Scouts are gonna be there and it's gonna be 10 cars. Or it's gonna be the senior citizen group meeting there, like, which is not even gonna be that many cars. So I get a little worried when we start taking too much of a negative route and trying to, I think there has to be a little bit of working with you here, like you're trying to do something good for the community. I think that what you're saying is obviously there's precedent for that. You can go to almost any venue. And when they have overflow parking, they're parking in the lawn. I see that everywhere. Fontainebleau is the first one that comes to my head, right? That's where they have their overflow parkings in the grass. I personally don't have a problem with that. I'd rather see people parking in the grass for overflow than on the road, same as you and everyone else. And I do struggle with putting too many restrictions because at some point we push you to a point where there's too many restrictions. You're like, this is not really worth it for me. And I don't want to lose the opportunity that we have here. So I just want to make sure that we talk it out, but at the same time, we're not trying to invent what's going to happen 10 years down the road.
Good, thanks.
I just, I'm just gonna throw this out, every decision I make with my own child. Property, it is, I look 50 years ago, kind of like that trees fall on the thing.
Sure.
So that's great, I love that, thank you, but I also understand both sides to it, and being a resident here. Of course, we have. The agreement with the first owner, my brother, so yeah. So I see all views and
Well, it seemed like you were considering that idea of it, of what I said.
And I like what Kim said. It's like, we don't want
Yeah.
to make onerous restrictions and drive you away. That's not the point here. But we do want to support the zoning, intent of the zoning is really the key. And that's part of it to me. I see you being a little more agreeable to, seem like that was a great idea, by the way. Instead of a permanent, you would know, permanent restriction, deed restriction on never building again or anything. This seems like a different way around it.
Yeah, certainly don't.
Yeah, I don't think that.
Permanent restriction. So, to the extent that it were.
But the two things in my mind would be incompatible. You take away that lot and turn it into a house or something else that you're permitted to do. And you wouldn't have to come to this board, you wouldn't have to come to any board, you just had to get a building permit, basically, isn't it? So, that would be undesirable to me.
Seems like it would be undesirable to you then, because you just lost your overflow parking.
Oh, right.
Sounds like it, right?
Yeah. So I mean, that's the way I'm looking at it
Yeah,
is,
me too.
you're like, look, I have a solution. I have overflow parking. You sell it, somebody puts up a house, they'll buy overflow parking. Now you're limited to 28 spots, no overflow. And people are much less willing to come to a venue when they have to park on the road and
Well, and
try
it's gonna
and,
hurt
you know.
And the
Sure.
neighborhood and the community all, basically.
And it's gonna get, yeah, and I'm part of that. Not just the community center. Two rents, one of them. Previous owners have to move out, so.
So that would have the opposite effect of scaring you away, be like, oh, we could maybe all just come to an agreement of some sort. But you would have to, and I can't guarantee how people are gonna vote on this anyway, but it sounds like you're amenable to something like that, if we put a condition on this.
I am, we do have a joint attorney, my brother, and I, so I'm just,
So-
we're, so,
Oh, good, though.
I think it, but are there any other issues? If that's the only issue. Final response.
Other conditions you mean, or issues?
Yeah, any other issue?
Well, I have an issue about the lot coverage, yeah, that's always a big one for me.
The lot coverage is already 60%, right? Yeah. So we're not, actually not 300%, well, 16%.
Mhm.
Because of stuff.
16?
15.
No, I didn't say that, that wasn't the increase. There was an increase of 18% was what was written. But what we're saying is that's 300% of the what's allowed. And then it's 340. Which is, usually we go, yeah, it's not egregious, because we have to decide whether is this a big ask or a little ask, is it a lot or not? It's a lot.
I think what you have to think about is big vendor.
Oh, we do. Oh, we do. Yeah.
So it's really not.
If you were proposing it, I would say no.
If it were a new development, that's a substantial undertaking, I expect to get.
No, clearly.
Under proportion.
And I gotta say, I really like that you're taking something that's there and turning it into something good for the community and all that. I think that was expressed already.
I have a love
That's
for
why
the building that street for. Well, when it was built, I don't remember it as much being built, but I just remember it was always there.
Oh.
Part of my growing up, you know. And I purchased the house down the street because I saw it was built, and I helped it.
Mhm.
So I think I have emotional attachments to property,
That's
so,
great.
yeah.
And I would like to encourage that if we can get a good decision. So that was my initial issue was certainly that. And I like the idea of, is it going to change the community structure? That's really important for us. It's one of our 5 statutory rulings we have to decide on. And certainly if you're bringing traffic and cars all over the road.
That's a worry
That would be a
anyway
big one.
of mine that I'm gonna have to manage, and, you know, honestly, if it gets too crazy, I don't want to. You know, I don't.
Well, I like your plan though.
Yeah.
Full parking on
At
the,
a church. For pool.
They also have community church events. I know plenty of people that attended that church. So, you know, it wasn't just we showed up on Sunday or they showed up on Sunday and that was it. They had other events there.
Yeah,
Yeah. So it's been
Yeah.
used. It's been used for just more than hi, it's Sunday and
Right.
we're here to, you know, so it's.
I appreciate everybody's point of view.
I've lost the thread of what we're asking though. What are we asking of them now?
Cheryl, you want to state that?
Do you want to hear that first one first? Or-
No,
Yeah.
hold on a second, one second, I just want Cheryl to repeat. It's a good question.
The idea was that if this subdivided lot, part B or 1 would be sold, then you would lose your ability to be a community center because you wouldn't have enough parking, basically.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have the possibility. That would have to be fine tuned a little, like what does that really mean?
Yeah, so condition would be what, it couldn't be, no longer be a community center, is that what you're saying?
I think I would word it the opposite way.
Yeah.
Right, as long as it's used as community center, it has to.
Nice,
Right.
nice,
I
yeah.
would too,
That's more palatable.
I would
to me.
too.
Yeah.
Because I can't hook the community center on the parking because community events are not necessarily gonna exceed the parking. Existing parking is where I'm going. So I hear what Cheryl's saying and the way that you're presenting it's a little more palatable than saying. If you sell that property, you lose the community center. That.
No, I was just trying to come up with an idea. I wasn't like.
Yeah.
So,
But I'm just saying that's.
I like how
The
he's
wording's
saying
good
it.
though, right?
Yeah, no, it was the wording and that's how it was coming
The way the
across.
wording is.
So.
And if I took myself away from it, then I have to. Like this proposal because hardships can happen and you might need to
Yep,
sell it. You know,
yep,
This
yep,
would
yep,
prevent that or
yep.
make it work.
And we're not going 50 years down the road, we could be going 5 months down the road, so.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're pretty
I would just want to counter that, we're not going too far down. And we do have to think about the whole picture, the whole community and into the future too.
Fair.
So I think we're in agreement.
Just
Please,
wanted to add
yeah.
to The parking
Sure.
conversation, I just crunched some numbers and, for wedding venue, it's like 2 to 2.5 people per parking space. We also talked about a 100-person max wedding.
Yeah.
So that'd be 40 to 50 parking spaces. So we have 30, so the overflow would be 10.
Mhm. Good, and they'd be better off the road than on the road.
In existing parking lot, of like 60.
Well, what if we have community events that I can't even predict right now, that
Right.
would be so fun for everybody. And everybody wanted to go, and you know, it's great to have that lot as an overflow, not on the.
And I gotta say, I'd be for that, it'd be really cool, it'd
Yeah.
be great, you know, if you had 100 people show up, 100 cars show up. And interesting,
Right, and you don't
20 or
want,
40 or 60.
right, and of course, there's gonna be people that might try to park on the road, but I can direct them with signage not to.
I can kind of foresee a little scuttle here of like, we're saying it's for parking, but we don't want it to be a hardened surface. I mean, I know from working with grassroots, that grass is not always a good parking surface,
Yeah,
so that might like,
say that again.
we're saying that lot is being saved for parking, but we're also saying you can't harden any more surfaces.
But to
So-
Connect Park, they park on the lawn.
Yeah. So I'm just wondering, like, are we sure that's okay, that that's actually gonna work for you? Or would you want it to become?
Well,
Hard.
I mean, if I think I don't know what I want that to become. I can see a tent out there or like a gazebo and people take pictures. So it's all fluid. I don't,
Uh-huh.
I would come and ask you or go through the motions of.
You made it.
You don't really know whether it's super. Well, they don't have the indication that you can't park there. Right.
There is a well there that we're determining, there are 2 wells and we're determining which ones are viable, but I
Yep.
also got it tested and everything. And so,
Hmm.
yeah, and I pulled my plans down at my other property,
Oh.
saltwater, so we've got to rethink things about that well or get maybe municipal water if that's possible.
So I don't think there's no plan.
No,
Right.
no, I don't ever want that.
Yeah, that's what I just wanted to make it,
No,
like,
no,
we're
no,
not
no.
saying that it's gonna be parking, but
No,
it's
I
gonna be
love, I
parking.
just love that lot. I can't explain it.
It's green space, it's
It
gonna be a
is.
flexible
It's
green
open.
space.
I
Green
that's
itself is
tree, you know, like, I have a sugar maple right now that I have no idea where to put it. That's been
Oh.
Juga landscaping for a year. And that might be a perfect place, or a weeping willow where it gives it.
Don't put it near the saltwater though.
No, exactly, yeah. So, or water it with them.
Yeah.
That's what.
Thank you. Thanks for the calculations. I appreciate it. I like the way that was worded. I can't guarantee how everybody's gonna vote here, but it seems like a good solution, maybe something we get from. Well, what are you putting?
No, I think it sounds like a mutually good solution that would be consistent with what it sounds like was discussed with the community.
Okay,
Yeah, it sounds like, I mean, you guys are good with it.
so the
I
way we'll
don't feel like
structure it is we'll do a, put a condition of approval. The end.
And could you say it one more time so I can write it down correctly?
Yeah, so they'll,
Did you? So as long as the church property is used for commercial purposes, that.
That lot has to be vacant.
we're gonna call it parcel.
As long as
one.
parcel A,
Yeah.
I thought I referred to it
It's
two
not
different
called
ways.
church parcel, it's called the parcel A 1 or 2.
Yeah, because
Parcel, as
parcel
long
2
as,
is the one with the building.
okay, so long as
one is
parcel
vacant.
2 is used as a commercial property.
The map. We provided. Said a.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, this
we have
one,
one that says parcel 1 and parcel 2 as well.
Yep.
this,
Sorry, guys,
Okay.
that's the
Yeah, no,
confusion.
also written in the appeal.
Oh, built that one.
And in this, I mean, it's just the link. So in the one that we have that Phil sent, parcel 2 is identified as the one with the building on it. Parcel 1 is identified as the vacant property.
Either one or the.
I got the other one here from you.
Our map and our, I think there are 2 maps in our, one the top of graph, one is the parcel.
Well, but you have the plat has them as
Yeah.
numbered 1 and
The
2,
other one.
just what Tim just said.
Yeah. Oh, the parcel
2 is the building
one,
and
1
is the lot.
so as long as parcel 2 is used as a commercial property, parcel B is required to remain vacant. Is that okay? Good. I don't, that makes me feel good about it. What about you?
No, I think that's great.
And that commercial is the right word you want?
community center.
We could say that, but
Community center residential 2 or something.
It's for limited use. Oh, it's still commercial. So let's just.
Say
Yeah,
that.
kind of approved use as a community center. So let's.
Okay, community center?
as approved use.
I'm good with it. It just, it's more restrictive on your side, but great.
So can I just, I have a word for that.
Sure, no, that's fine. We're discussing.
As a community member, so if I sold that lot. And kept the church as a community center, that future owner could not develop it, correct?
That's right.
Okay, just want to just make
That's
sure.
the intent.
Yeah, that's good. I mean. That's my intention, but. Just want to make sure that that's.
I think it's less onerous than the deed restriction that, it's just a blanket deed restriction. Don't ever.
Within 100 years, we don't. Just like the church, they thought they would be there forever. And the whole pandemic happened. My church was within their
Yep, we all know. Life happens. Who wants to take this on?
What if they change, what if it changes from being a community center to a
Well,
wedding venue?
That's
Like,
what,
they're doing-
I'm like, you sure? Would that still be commercial though? That's the,
Well, he,
commercial seemed a little more blanket than community.
yeah,
Yeah, that's why I was asking, because to me, when they said community center was more restrictive on their side, where if it's state commercial, it sort of leaves it.
I think it's opposite of what
That's
that.
the opposite.
You think
isn't
so?
it? That commercial would be anything commercial, so you could.
Right, that means that anything could be there, as long as anything is there that's commercial, then that
Yeah.
property has to be, oh, I see.
Open, has to be
Yeah.
open, right? So
Yeah.
that one there is a little more restricted.
Yeah, I guess except to say that if Paula decided to change from a community center to something else.
Wedding event.
But
Well, so my focus,
I like-
or idea, and I'll hold that just one second, is community center, art center, wedding venues or event venues.
Yeah,
The three and more, under the umbrella.
As long as the,
I'm more excited about the art center.
yeah, okay, right.
yeah, I can,
So can we say commercial? Yeah, please, all.
If it also helps, there's only 3 permitted uses in the
Right.
zone by right, farming, single family detached and duplex. Anything else will trigger site plan review, of the planning board, so there'd be not only potentially a re-review of BZA, but also a review by the planning board.
if we add that sentence,
Well, my suggestion, my recommendation would be keep it as a community center. Commercial use is
Too broad.
very broad.
Yeah, I know, that's.
I have a couple of verbiage options. Are you ready? For so long as parcel 1 is used as a community center, parcel 2 shall remain undeveloped. Or
opposite, I think it's
Other way
opposite.
around,
parcel,
2 is used as a community center.
right, I just got the numbers backwards again. Son of a- Okay, parcel 1 shall remain undeveloped for the duration that parcel 2 is used as a community center. Or parcel 1 shall not be developed while parcel 2 continues to serve as a community center. Just giving you some verbiage options.
I'm thinking, parcel 2 parcel 1 will be required to remain vacant as long as the parcel 2 use may have parking need, overflow parking. To do so.
I mean, I like the whole, I like
Okay.
community center, I like that.
Yeah, because it's not really about what the use is, it's just that the use of a big place like that.
Mhm.
is
I mean,
probably
I know you're trying to explain it too, but I don't think we should.
It's not unreasonable to get, right, but it's a little harder to. Quantify.
Agree.
So. Yeah, if somebody bought it, was you get a commercial use and made it.
I mean, Pumas could have
commercial
come back.
use, they were, regularly had 5 people. Maximum capacity is 5 people. Like, you obviously don't need restrictions. So, to the extent that, for example, take this example, all I said, geez, only having weddings for 20 people.
Yeah.
You don't need them on.
Yeah. As long as overflow parking may be required, this lot shall remain vacant. That's not that.
Well,
That's not that.
but I was asked earlier if, I'm just giving you my personal opinion here, if I had additional issues, and I do have additional issues, and it's not just the parking. So that wouldn't take care of it.
Okay.
Splitting this up, allowing buildings to go on there. I'm not really for that.
Yeah.
Now you got a hardened surface, you got a lot of it, that church, that ex-church building and a lot of parking lot and turns into something else, then you can build on the lot next to it too. Yep.
I'll also throw an additional wrinkle to both of your brainstormings, but with the language of saying as long as those parcels who remains community center. I don't like going down rabbit holes, but say if a future property owner wanted to change that existing structure to a dwelling unit. It's no longer a community, so they're still stuck with this provision that they can't build anything. So you have to think of some additional language.
Not a little, so suggestion. The community center just goes away. If it goes.
Yeah, I don't understand what you just said, Neil.
Yeah, I don't either.
It doesn't seem to make
That's
sense with
something.
what I think I'm saying, so.
I guess the last thing I heard was something along the lines of so long as proposed parcel one remain, or so long as proposed parcel two remains in community center,
Right,
parcel one will remain undeveloped. That's kind of the gist that I've heard.
right.
So if proposed parcel two ceases to be a community center, does become a dwelling unit. It still requires parcel one to remain closed because it's no longer community center. Right?
No,
The condition is,
Residential.
the condition is that parcel two remains a community center. And that parcel one. Or stays in.
No, we're saying as long as it does remain a community center.
and once it doesn't, then you're released, right?
Yeah, then you're
They're
released.
both residential.
Yeah, like say it does, I can't imagine that being helpful.
You're comfortable with that.
Yeah, I'm,
Well, I am making plans for a home, like as a plan B, because I don't want it to be abandoned, like I really do want. it. So in the far off future, I don't see somebody buying it. I don't really know what somebody will do with that and it's very expensive, so. I definitely saw, and they're even having a Syracuse University class and help with ideas about it.
Well-
That how could it look at a house with flush?
Mhm.
Or a plan B 10 to 20 years, because I'm 53, 20 years, I'm gonna be 73, and I don't think I wanna be doing finance. So, I wanna know, I try to plan 50 years ahead, always, because that's just who I am.
So is that what you're saying? It converts into a house and then what? And that's a bad thing? I mean,
I heard two different suggestions and I think they will get the intent, but if you say parcel one will remain undeveloped.
mhm.
So long as parcel two remains a community center, that's where I sit.
That's where you see what?
I think
A hiccup, huh?
if you were to, as long as proposed parcel two remains a community center.
Mhm.
Then,
Parcel one will remain, undeveloped. I think that's fine.
Okay.
But the suggestion that parcel one will remain undeveloped so long as parcel two remains a community center. That's where I see it.
I like the first one anyway, so.
that's helpful. Thank you.
The vacant lot, I guess if the parcel is one, if we were to develop it without on it, we still require the 7.5%.
Right.
That's a very small footprint on this.
Well, it's different for residential, you said. isn't it?
That is going to be.
Yeah.
And so the footprint on this lot would be without variance.
So for residential, you don't count your house coverage as far as service, parking, sidewalks. Where they're having the hiccup here is that it's not a single family building in very detached dwelling, so we have to count the sidewalks, patio, and parking. So if it were to be parcels, parcel one and undeveloped lot, if that were to be residential, your own house.
The 7.5% would be that was only. Yeah. That would be one.
I love the language of children. Let's make it to clarify that can be another that we should clarify so that when it becomes a vegetable, everyone being also.
Well, I think that's what Niels was trying to get us to. He was trying to help us get to that.
I thought it was clear in
I
there.
think it was pretty clear that I like the
Yeah.
first one. It was well worded and I think that takes care of all these issues that we.
Maybe we can hear about your other issues.
But,
Yeah.
Maybe we should hear about your other.
no, I don't like the lot coverage, I don't know, 7.5% is a lot. Is a good number, it's a good lead number, meaning beyond that, it's a lot, you're really covering a lot of land, making it impervious surface, not for it.
7.5% is a lot for residential, but a long time ago, they made a decision to build this as commercial site. So that decision happened.
Sure. Doesn't change that it's a lot of the ground is being covered. If you split it up, it's a big chunk of the landscape. So that's where we are right now. It's not.
And I don't wanna do overflow parking on the left, because that is not good for the neighbors, or,
You know,
you know, I plan for it.
I mean, I'm okay with that. You okay with this? I didn't want to go more convoluted than we have some.
Um,
She said.
what?
I didn't want to go chasing that one down myself.
Okay, so, so this is really our only issue right now? The
Yeah,
number?
it takes care of both of my two issues.
Should we change our little sentence, creative writing here to is required to remain available for overflow parking instead of vacant?
I'm not sure. I was gonna ask about the word vacant. Is that,
Does that work for you guys? Remain available for, as long as the church property is used as a community center, the parcel 1 is required to remain available for overflow parking.
That- But then.
That might be
restricts
too
our-
open.
It's okay.
Still build a house.
You could build a parking lot, you build a house.
I don't care if they.
I like the vacant thing. The vacant's an okay word.
Vacant and available for overflow parking.
I mean, I guess the only thing,
That's a good-
as you emphasize the word vacant, I mean, I wouldn't want to restrict them from like building a gazebo or something.
Right, putting up gardens.
Yeah, that's what I was-
Right,
Yeah, you said.
The wildflower
10%
meadow.
would be-
yeah.
I mean, a tent is
Yeah, so I was
temporary,
gonna
but
ask what the meaning of vacant is like. legal.
I'm just thinking part of it, whatever they need, would be
Yeah.
available for overflow parking. Like if it was vacant and they weren't allowed to park on it, that doesn't really work for what we're trying to do. So I was,
Dwelling. Structures of dwelling.
maybe livable structures, because
Yeah.
again, a
So isn't
structure
that a
could be a
dwelling? What's
gazebo.
a dwelling is all livable on
well, gazebo,
or
like,
accessory.
I mean,
A pergola.
I don't care if they
With
build
the
something on
wisteria.
it. Well, no,
There's not a lot of storage, so I'm planning right now, my house down the street, which for now, and possibly building a garage apartment, which I'm planning to do anyway, but for the sole purpose of also having something pretty much. But this is the village,
Yeah, different.
I have the White House for the red door.
Hmm.
The raised branch,
No dwellings.
yeah, that was.
yeah,
Yeah, I think that's good.
Neil's had something.
Well, both under the zoning and building code, a gazebo would be considered a structure.
Yeah.
A parking lot would be considered structures, so.
But not a dwelling, right?
Me not having.
If you said habitable.
I don't care what, as long, I really just care about that parking.
So if they want to do the intent is to, or to allow flexibility to do gazebo or service parking lot. It's just down to the top of the structure.
What structure?
I think that makes a lot of sense.
Sorry, I said capital, I'm like, what?
A habitable structure.
Capital structure. Got it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Parcel 1 will not be allowed to something inhabitable structure.
Yeah.
Is there municipal water through there? Is there village water?
I heard at the last meeting.
Yeah, that's my
that-
question.
That we can get it, and I didn't really think about it, I thought, you know, now knowing well has salt water.
Something to know.
I didn't mean to rabbit hole you, I was
No,
just curious.
No, it's not.
Into it, I
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Did we settle on language and I missed it?
No,
So you're looking like you're ready to take this on?
what is? Parcel 1 will. Come on, Niels, you came up with habitable structure, you gotta help me. Leave it to the lawyer, all right?
Right now. Wordsmith. Change the sentence around.
Right, can we say any, at least a comment, even if it doesn't have to be in the deed restriction, just a comment that this is intended to allow for overflow parking? I would like that to be known as the intent.
We can do that inside the. Or we can do that. We have it. Let's see. We can do it in response to one of the questions, or several of the questions if we want.
Okay.
Like when you say conditions of approval,
Yeah, it's important for us to see what our intent is.
mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine with me. Yeah, rationale is pretty important.
Okay,
So we have one resolution or two from this one?
I think just one for this one.
Okay. Ready, Cheryl?
okay. How many whereases do we need to say out loud?
I don't think I.
No,
I
no
thought
whereas.
about the whereas.
Okay,
They're all on there. We don't stipulate this on there.
so, and we make our motion after. And we make the motion after, this, or I say, I motion.
You're making the motion right now.
Okay, so should I say I move? Sorry, I should
Yeah.
know this.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Read the title.
Before we start, though, Cheryl, is your intent to put the verbiage at the last paragraph for the reason set forth, yeah, and then the inclusion of the verbiage about the condition, is that where you're?
Yeah, and then we can refer to the conditions of approval at any time we want, any of them.
Niels, where should we put the conditions?
Condition goes up, yeah.
After.
So you make a motion to just make sure to read the title resolution, the first page, and then just pseudos.
And the condition at the very end. But we usually refer to our conditions a little bit throughout, that there
Yeah,
is
we
an
do, yeah, we'll
existence.
discuss it.
Okay, now therefore. Be it resolved as follows. That's not the title?
Under the board adjournment right there.
A resolution
Mhm.
for one area variance. For the McGuire two-lot minor subdivision located at 319 Pennsylvania Avenue, Town of Ulysses. Tax parcel 12.2-9.4. Now therefore be it resolved as follows, considering all of the statutory factors set forth above, the Board of Zoning Appeals finds the following. 1, the benefit to the applicant in the granting of the area variance to exceed the maximum permitted lot coverage from 7.5% to 25.5% for proposed parcel 2 will outweigh the detriment to the health, safety, and welfare of the neighborhood. Especially given that the subdivided lot will be reserved for overflow parking.
You want to put that here?
No, what should I say though about the condition? Especially given the conditions of approval. Number 2. The granting of the area variance to exceed the maximum permitted lot coverage from 7.5% to 25.5% for proposed parcel 2 will not create an undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood and will not be a detriment to nearby properties.
Given. Conditions of approval.
Especially given conditions of approval.
Yeah, I don't think you need especially.
No. Well, I didn't think it was really creating a desirable change in the first place.
but it could, right? All the extra parking, all the things we just talked about.
That's why I thought it was special.
Oh.
Number 3. The benefits sought by the applicant to exceed the maximum permitted lot coverage. The benefits sought by the applicant to exceed the maximum permitted lot coverage. The from doesn't make sense, am I right?
Benefit to exceed, the granting of the variance to exceed it, yeah, is what? No, like, I mean, so
The benefits sought by the applicant to exceed the maximum permitted lot coverage
from 725,
by 18%. How's that?
just being specific, just repeating the same things over and over.
Well, it doesn't make sense.
Cannot be achieved by,
And
yeah, the benefits to do this cannot be achieved by other means, basically.
cannot be achieved by some other method feasible for the applicant to pursue other than an area variance. I'm not sure about that one. I kind of think it can. We didn't really go over this.
Yeah, you can say what?
I mean, they could wait to subdivide. There's legal ways, I think, so. I might go with can unless someone has a big feeling about that.
Yeah, you want to say what though?
The benefit sought by the applicant to exceed the maximum permitted lot coverage for proposed parcel 2 can be achieved by some other method feasible for the applicant to pursue.
You want to say, for example, whatever,
For example, waiting to subdivide until, I don't need any more than that, do you?
waiting for what?
Waiting to subdivide? That seemed like another option. It seemed like there was other legal options.
Don't subdivide.
Giving up the application. There's no actual motivation, right? But based on the subdivision application, the only way
Yeah, I think
to achieve approval is.
yeah, I mean, that's kind of like, well, you don't need to be here, you could just not do it.
Yeah, that's
So,
right.
you don't
That's
usually say-
the whole purpose of what we're doing.
Applicant.
I just thought you had a,
Yeah, there's no other legal way to achieve. Try.
but you can say that now, as long as the subdivision, not, you can say, you put that in. Can be achieved by some, cannot.
All right, okay.
You could say, so you could say cannot be achieved as long as it will have some.
I'll just say cannot be achieved by some method. Period, unless anyone else has anything to say.
Feasible methods, I think the feasible is the thing that I'm playing with.
Right, so I'll read that one through just as it's written, except for Molly or Niels. Do you see what I'm saying about this number thing? Is that legible to you?
So I put 25.5.
Mhm.
That, say you cannot be achieved.
Well, you can't exceed something from. You have to exceed something by. Right?
Yeah, but what's your?
The benefits sought by
I'm
the
okay with
applicant to exceed maximum
maximum, to
lot
exceed
coverage
this.
by something, not from.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, no, because it's kind of like the math, going from 7 to 25, we're doing
We
another
would
say.
say to exceed the maximum what, to exceed the maximum permitted lot coverage for parcel 2
That's a good idea.
as requested.
Yes. Okay, the benefits sought by the applicant to exceed the maximum permitted lot coverage for proposed parcel 2 cannot be achieved by some method feasible for the applicant to pursue other than an area variance. Number 4, the requested area variance to exceed the maximum permitted lot coverage. Again, for proposed parcel 2 is substantial. Number 5, the proposed area variance to exceed the maximum permitted lot coverage for proposed parcel 2 will not have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district, especially given the conditions of approval. Number 6, the alleged difficulty necessitating the request to exceed the maximum permitted lot coverage for proposed parcel 2 is self-created. For the reasons set forth above and upon the evidence, law, and fact, the BZA hereby does grant the area variance to exceed the maximum permitted lot coverage. How about, can we just say increase the maximum permitted lot coverage from 7.5?
No, because they're asking that specific thing, so let's be better say. They're asking to go from 7.5 to 25.
Oh, I'm having so much resistance to that phrasing. All right, 7.5% to 25.5% for proposed parcel 2 as part of the proposed 2-lot minor subdivision located at 319 Pennsylvania Avenue, given the following conditions of approval. One condition. As long as parcel 2, the parcel 2 property is used as a community center, no habitable structures will be built on parcel 1. This is intended to keep parcel 1, some amount of parcel 1 available for overflow parking. As long as as long as the parcel 2 property is used as a community center, no habitable structures will be built on parcel 1. Got that part? Tell me when. Okay, this is intended to make. No. This is intended to reserve some area of parcel 1 for overflow parking. Is that what I said? Is that what I said?
Can we throw the word open in there? Open area? It's kind of intended for both in my mind.
Okay, for to reserve some of the area. Okay. For overflow parking and open area.
Yeah, or the other way around. Open area and be used as or something. That's fine. Anyway, you don't say that.
Please, just the second sentence. This is intended to.
I said reserve, yeah,
Reserve open space.
reserve.
Provide,
I said some area of, because I was like, if she wants to build a gazebo, great.
Or tree, I mean, I'm assuming trees and vegetation.
They count as open space,
Sure,
yeah.
of course.
So yeah, that's why I said some area. Okay, so this is intended to reserve some area of parcel 1 for overflow parking and open space. How about that? I like open space better than open area because open space is like a bit. If anyone wants to read that back, be glad to.
Are you done with the conditions? I have a question. That last sentence, could we, just for consistency, keep the verbiage the same when we talk about the maximum permitted lot coverage? In that one, you kept the from 7.5% to 25%. Could we just take that out like we did in the others and just have it so it flows the same through the whole document?
I don't know, he said to keep it, and I don't have anything against saying the numbers, but it's just
So it just, for consistency, it just seems like we would keep it the same to grant the area variance to exceed the maximum permitted lot coverage for proposed parcel 2 as part of the proposed 2-lot minor subdivision located at 319 Pennsylvania Avenue. It was just consistent the way that we worded it all the way through.
because I kept taking it out.
Yeah.
I just took it out because I couldn't get it to work.
I'm okay with it.
So I'd rather make it work.
But she didn't take it out everywhere though.
Oh,
I think that's my thing. I think she
Oh.
just took it out and so that one spot was really sticking.
Yeah,
Well, maybe we should read it back. Then.
the other places where it was listed, as Cheryl was talking, I
Mhm.
crossed them off because I thought that she had
Number two
excluded
also.
those, yeah, so I thought that.
Why can't we say,
What do we do?
why can't we say, increase the maximum permitted lot coverage from 7.5 to 25.5 rather than exceed? I mean, that makes sense. Is that a different meaning?
It's very different. Yes. Yeah, that's why I said another word in there would be great, kind of increasing from something like that, but. So
Or
exceed the
conversely,
maximum,
we just
if you
take it
said
out.
exceed the maximum lot coverage from increasing. Increasing from 75 to 25, right?
Okay,
That would
okay.
really be specific and. There was some an issue, but I think you still had an issue with it. I don't mind that saying lot coverage, increasing from 75 to 25, I bet you they would fit it.
Yeah, I was just asking for consistency. That's all I was
Agreed.
looking for.
And that, and it, that's not really, for me, that's not really the best answer. Consistency of something that we don't like is not really what I'm looking for, so I'd rather pick
That's important to me though.
what?
Oh, what are you saying? The numbers aren't important or?
No, what she said, about the consistency,
Consistency,
yeah. Granting and the. To exceed the.
Well, what I'm saying is when we agree on the verbiage, we should keep it consistent.
That would be great, that would be great.
That's what I'm
When we
saying.
agree on it, yeah.
But are we back to not accepting the removing the numbers out and just saying exceed the maximum permitted lot coverage, remove the from 7.5% to 25% for percent, and then say lot coverage for proposal parcel 2 and then keep that consistent? Is that's not palatable? Is that
I
what
don't
I'm
like
hearing?
that. It's not palatable. They really want to put, this is pretty egregious. 7.5 to 25 is, probably should stay in there.
Okay,
So
so,
we should make it consistent. I agree. And I'd say, how about a lot coverage, comma, increasing from 7 to 25%? Okay,
yes, so, Molly and Niels, can we do a consistent change throughout our factors? That we just came up with, without reading them all again? No, if without reading them all again,
but Molly didn't read them, so at least.
You'll have to run the count.
no, I mean, without me reading them all.
You're adding all the percentages back in for every number.
Just saying increasing, comma, increasing.
Okay, let's go to number 1 and we'll read it the right way,
Mhm.
and then maybe you could kind of
Paste the rest,
replicate
yep.
that throughout. Number 1, the benefit to the applicant in the granting of the area variance to exceed the maximum permitted lot coverage, comma, increasing from 7.5% to 25.5%, comma, right? And then comma. Or proposed parcel 2 will outweigh the detriment to health, safety, and welfare of the neighborhood, period.
I think the second comment was it. That's the two, but-
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so. So this is how it would read, increasing from 7.5% to 25% for the proposed parcel 2. That's way up.
No, I don't agree with that.
Okay.
Okay, so Molly, did you get what I said? And could you read it back, or do you get what I'm trying to do there?
Yeah, so, yeah, and grant the area variance to exceed the maximum permitted lot coverage, from 7.5% to 25.5%, the proposed parcel 2 will have a detriment to health, safety, directly to the it's actually given the.
Okay, great.
Okay.
And could you do that little edit to all of them that way?
Sure.
Thank you. Sorry, I couldn't come up with that earlier.
I think on number 3, you also said change it to maximum permitted lot coverage for parcel 2 or proposed parcel 2. I think you said. Never mind. Sorry, said. I take it back. Scratch them.
Sorry, it's so tedious, everyone.
Yeah, we're writing this stuff down, so might as well deal with it.
Sounds like you're doing consistency with Kim on it, which is great. Being more specific.
My OCD was just kicking in.
No, and I get to follow, but you're being clear, so.
Thank you.
I get it. And we all have our voices as English teachers and our brain language sometimes too. Bye.
I have one addition.
I
I
guess.
have an additional one. Thanks. Love it.
Or the juice panel we're adding and all of them.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, increasing it.
Okay,
Because lot coverage,
are you adding that to criteria 3 and 4 too? Because we're thinking about
Yes, I want it to be that same in all of 6.
yeah,
Yeah.
the lot coverage, increasing from blah, blah, blah.
The comma is after 25.5, right?
Percent. Percent.
Oh,
25.5%.
percent, correct. Yeah.
I do have one thing I want, just asking for friendly amendment, number 4, requested area variance to exceed the maximum permitted lot coverage from 7.5%. For parcel 2 is substantial, and it's very substantial. And I'd say, I really want to put that here, but this will be ameliorated by the conditions of approval.
Okay.
I just like to say that at least one time,
Okay.
especially there. Did you get that?
I decided your comma.
But this will be ameliorated by the conditions of approval.
One condition, not a F.
Condition, yes. Thank you. What's your name?
We do need to make sure we make our little edit about increasing on that last little paragraph too, for the reasons set forth above. That paragraph needs the same edit.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna come up with something better, I bet. You were thinking it, he's thinking it.
He especially is driving me bonkers, isn't it? I can feel it. I felt it.
Should have asked, but
You got them all good. Everybody okay with this? And any more discussion on this? Any discussion on this?
Oh, no.
Do I have a second? Then, what was it? I should have.
Oh, I'll second it. I like it.
Second, all right, I'm gonna call the vote. All in favor of this?
I,
I,
Aye. All right, so it's unanimous and the motion carries. Thank you. Thanks for doing what you're doing. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Makes a big difference. Here we go. Thanks for working with us. Really appreciate it.
You know, I was very poor at first. I lived down at the lake, this kind of thing. So I was very poor for many years.
wow.
Yeah.
That's saying something living
It's
right
good.
down there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's not, it's like a startup. The first 5 years are tough. You're
Yeah.
not really sure what's going
are you
on.
building right now down there?
No, I
Next to your
lived,
parents?
no, I've lived there actually for 20 years in Broad Rapids. Part of their property, and then I
Thank you.
bought a home next door.
Is anybody building next to your parents?
Thank you.
Right.
No, I'm doing construction, like renovations. so
Okay.
that's- Yeah.
My husband had seen something and for some reason
Okay,
he,
yeah,
he
yeah,
thought, he was
yeah.
like, oh, I think that somebody's
But
building there. So
That's
I just
their
was,
plan. so
yeah.
Florida to.
Thank
Main
you.
Avenue, so thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good luck.
Pleasure, guys. Folks. Nice resolution.
I don't know, I feel like this.
That was
It was close, yeah. Thank you.
I'm not worried about being repetitive and pedantic and stuff. As long as we get the right words in it. I feel the justification stuff is pretty important, or rational, just to explain your Ashton. Okay, second item of business, new business is a discussion of a proposal by the applicant Brian James on behalf of the property owners, Jonathan Color and Cynthia Faves. To apply for site plan approval from the planning board to renovate and construct an addition to existing non-conforming detached accessory building. For the code of the town of Ulysses, CPU 212-47.e, in conjunction with CPU 212 167.8, the minimum required front. Now, I had a question here. This is a back setback, is it not?
It is a concept.
Lakeside is the front, I thought.
They're both considered,
Okay, all right. I put front and back just in my statement because it's true, right? Front and back.
they're
It is
technically.
40 feet.
I would not consider this to be the back setback.
Okay,
Or, I mean, you have the authority to.
but this is a true statement. The required front and back setback is 40 feet. True.
I believe the rear setback was.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I have the code here for the lakeside.
Oops.
Minimum setback, front and rear shall be 50 feet. From highway right of way, 50 feet or lots of.
And then we get to subtract the 20.
And then the 10 foot, then the 10.
Yeah, I guess if you want to consider front and rear. Rear though.
No, I just wanted to check with, make sure we didn't make an error, but if you say that, just saying front is fine. Okay. Setback for the accessory building is 40 feet. The subject structure is setback 29 feet from the front property line. Proposal would expand the structure in an attached deck to the north and east per CTU 212-156.a. Non-conforming buildings may be rebuilt but not be larger than the footprint of the existing structure. The applicant submitted a concurrent area variance request to extend the non-conformity by 5 feet 5 inches to the north and to increase the overall footprint of the structure and attached deck by approximately 157 square feet. The address of the house and detached accessory building is 123 Maplewood Road. The appellant is here, the appellant representative. And would you like to state your case to us?
Yes, I am Brian James. I'm the representative of client, no clients who are here tonight. Lower and Chase, Lower Chase. This, does everyone have printouts?
We're looking at that.
Yeah, we did. I love it. We were commenting on it.
We love it.
Very neat, clean and colorful.
We love color.
Yeah, nice job.
Let it be on the record though, we love color.
It helps. It helps.
I heard it. So, this property, the home was built on the late 30s, roughly, the Lake Cottage. And this is, the cottage itself has been renovated over the past few years, and the places of other construction, requires the, bring the main house up to current code and, beautify the property and, make it really functional for the family. This bunkhouse, this is actually a legacy property, but it will be my homeowner for using it, that has been on through generations. And the bunkhouse was used by Bill, child as a place to retreat and play, and now he is actually expecting this child, coming up to they want to keep that tradition. The bunkhouse itself is very small. And so the idea here is to maintain the same footprint of the structure. It's big enough for a study or an office type of study area. It's very small. But they would need to add a bathroom. And in this case, there are restraints on the property, septic issues, trying to expand. So they're open to putting the incinerator toilet or feasible as a way to have an extra toilet with So that is where the 5.5 to the north comes in, obviously, they will need a egress to get to that, so that's where the deck expansion comes in, to get to that space from the. So this, is in the, already in the, setback zone. The big difference here, would be from the 21 foot inch, offset, it now changed to 23 which is just by following the existing footprint, the property is slightly expanded back where it can change more. It is already in the side setback, which for accessory building is 12 feet. Direct 4 inches. They're just a few inches into that, step back on the side, possibly on the south side. Both of the neighbors seem north and south are, very, much in favor of the work that they'll be doing on property and they're sticking to, even the vernacular of the original project, so they really honored, try to maintain the original, intent of the property. So really, this is just an opportunity to try to capture, improve the property value and also the function of the space. I will also just add that the total existing property, lot coverage is 8% after this. It's already over the 5%, rule. And this proposed, deck and extra bathroom will push this to 10.45%. So we took over that. This is a very, limited property to work with. It's already pretty small for the open city use. They're much larger parcel and much larger structures to neighbor to the north and to the south. They're both very much in favor of these speed improvements. And just I want to also point out the steps that are moving down are also in the right of way. These are the only egress onto the property. The currently metal stairs are falling apart, and we'll like to keep them, bring them back to a pressure treated wood. They have stairs throughout the property that are also the same. So let's maintain that as well.
Is that going to stay the same footprint?
Yes.
I'll open the public portion, but I don't think there's any other public here unless the gentleman would like to say something.
No question.
Yeah, probably do. We probably do. Yep.
I would just say, so my wife and I live in San Francisco, and we're the only children of my parents, and we just thought that I grew up in this house in summer sailing. We loved. I introduced my wife to it. She loves it now. We're expecting baby in October.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I can't wait for my child to not just be a soft California baby and life experience like right by them up here. And so really what this is about for us is we work remotely when we come up for the month or two from somewhere. And so the house itself is about 300 square feet, very practical, 2 bedroom, 1 bath. But as we make that second bedroom into a nursery and child's room, having some extra space for one of us to step away, it's basically the example. We having this.
Excellent, thank you. Have we gotten any input from neighbors that we don't, let's see, we've got something here that just gave us.
Yeah.
One written note.
Mhm.
I thought so.
Two.
Oh,
Two,
second.
I see two, yeah.
Okay.
And then there's a neighbor, it's pretty close to the neighbor's lot line. Have we heard from them? Do we know, is one of these?
Yeah, this is one of, they both are fine with it.
South?
Yeah.
But you're not going that way. You're not moving closer
No,
to
we're
the,
not, we're maintaining.
you're going the other way.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
slightly. I'll bring you something.
Okay, great, thank you. Yeah, so we have them from, we have them from both people, right?
I just have a quick question. So I see the existing deck. I'm looking at an image online right now. So are you just gonna expand the deck in the front and then the side, or that's it? So you're gonna basically take that rated, whatever this, with the slats, and you're gonna take that down, extend it, and then go,
Exactly.
and it's just gonna be an open walkway around.
It will be
Great.
an open walkway, there will be, to that outpost.
Yeah, because it looks like the existing, it doesn't even look like there's room for you to walk.
There's not.
It just looks like a little guardrail almost. Yeah, great.
You
And
can
then-
sit out there and,
Yeah, okay.
Then you'll expand in both directions? So
yes, to the east.
5, in both, in each direction? No,
I think it's from 3 to 4 feet to the east.
okay.
I think, yeah, it's just the width of the structure for the bathroom.
And that's the
Yeah.
incinerator room would be the,
Yeah, that little rectangle.
gotcha.
So, I am just curious about health department stuff with that. Is that, I've never heard of an incinerator toilet. Is that the same as a composting toilet?
I know it's not, it's
No.
actually, it cooks the waste
Mm-hmm.
and then you dispose of it. It's a natural certain-
And how you getting the cook? It's
It's
electric.
electric.
Okay. Then is it activated? Is it one of those that activates by, every time you use it, or do you just do it manually every once in a while?
We haven't spec the unit. We are just making sure we are very before we go into the minutia of the design, but there are 2 options and one of them, I think, automatically will self-clean.
I'm sure, yeah.
They're fancy.
Yeah.
And
And
what
then
about
is
the
there-
water? Are we, is the gray system is that a possibility that you could get approval for that?
That's the next step. We have the gray water sports and hand washing suit for sanitary. And there's a proposal for a rain garden to deal with the stormwater runoff from the roof and also to handle the drinking water. So.
Do you do want to run water up there?
Yeah, and this is seasonal, it's only this per month of season, they will run water temporarily up to, seasonal connect, it'll just be, they'll be using, natural cleaning products that are biodegradable, it's also part of the plant, so it's gonna be very.
So water's coming out of the lake for the main house, or
What's that?
water is coming out of the lake for the main house? Yeah.
That's correct.
And then you're just gonna tap into that,
Just tap
send it
into
up
that,
to the
yeah.
bunkhouse?
Is that something you have to get a permit for or just not? Not really. I just never have heard of a gray water system for.
Yeah, no, actually, it's new to me as well, but,
Mhm.
what I understand from our local code enforcer, that it's an option.
Okay.
And it's so because of again the constraints of the septic system and the site, it's gonna be much more challenging to go back and try to upgrade the septic to larger scale, so this is a way to meet that demand, to get an extra bathroom without having to create a bigger issue as far as, disrupting the soil and all of those things involved. It's a very steep grade.
Yeah, no, I get it about septic at the lake. It's
Yeah,
impossible.
we're trying to really avoid that disruption to the
Yeah.
soil.
So is the incinerating toilet sitting up on something, or it's not down to the ground, is it?
It's
on the deck?
Same kind of, it's gonna be in a enclosed room.
Uh-huh.
I'm just kind of imagining now house, it will be in enclosed space. And then the toilet is the same scale of a regular toilet, it just has a little. Burning,
Yeah.
some.
Yeah, we looked into that
Yeah,
for
yeah.
a
Great.
unit at our
Yeah.
home too.
Okay.
so
I
have
just
no
wondered
idea
where you were
what
accessing. I wasn't quite sure where
Oh,
the,
so it's all above.
it was
floor.
on the deck.
Yeah, there's no.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just
Okay.
literally has a vent.
They have-
Exhaust.
You have one?
No, we were looking into them, that said, so we didn't have to put another septic in. They have cute little nicknames for them.
Yes.
You could gather just from that, but yes, they're a
They're great.
good option
They're great.
when you're having that constraint with
Exactly.
septic.
Yeah, very, very. Environmental friendly.
Mhm. So, how often do you need to empty this one you're thinking of? You have to empty it ever, or just burning it through?
Well, no, I think it's ever few uses, but there's different, rated, elements for different capacity. In this case, for very small family, it won't be to, expose very frequently. I think we have a small camera.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe every few days or a week, depending how often they're using it. It's not very, it's not a lot, it's not a lot of extra, sure.
Right, right. I actually wanted to get to. I like your idea of putting a swale in or a rain garden or something, some system. What do you have in mind and where are you gonna put that?
So if you look, on this drawing, there's a kind of blue highlighted section that's representing, basically a bowl concept where the water will be piped in to the swale.
Yep.
It's all natural planting that will help, filter out and clean the soil.
And how deep you going and what are you putting in there? This swale of dirt, or are you gonna put some?
There will be
Gravel.
sand and gravel
Sand
and
and gravel.
clear. And it's a whole system. We have the general concept. Once again, we're waiting for it to get the feedback before we go further into development.
Mhm.
Decide it. Yeah, but they're very, I know in this area, they're very common to deal with runoff, and in this case, it will be gray water as well.
Yeah, and I like that you're not diverting it to the side, you're actually diverting it, but are you concerned at all about it going right toward the house?
No, in fact, the homeowners have already addressed a lot of the water management with French drains and things like that.
Okay.
We've had some issues in the past, we've already corrected that, so this shouldn't add to that, we already have the drainage in place.
Mhm.
And then again, the roof will be, there will be a gutter system, this will be an improvement, I think, considering what is there currently. The water will actually be managed now.
And what is there currently? Nothing, right? It just goes off the roof.
It just goes off the
This is a
roof.
hardened surface that all collects water.
Yeah.
Dumps.
Yeah, and this is a natural vegetative space, so there's a lot of
So,
plantings, a lot of trees, and there's not an erosion issue currently, so. Again, the idea, if we can keep it in the same position, we have a limited amount of disruption to the soil, and digging the same spot where the most currently are, minimize how much soil disruption.
yeah, especially on that steep slope, you have to worry about that whole time.
And the root.
And the roots, exactly. Yeah, in fact, the tree, you can see it kind of, we went ahead and articulated where the primary trees are, and we're trying to work within that for the rain.
Mm-hmm.
So no tree cutting, we're gonna love that,
That's.
especially if Andy comes back.
We're trying not to, no, if we have to move the structure because of the setbacks, if that becomes a priority on the agenda, then we have to revisit where we can position this to get the needs met, but homeowner. We would prefer not to, obviously, because the trees are established and they're also helping with the road. We don't want to, disrupt that or cause another issue. There was a tree that was cut down, the whole tree was cut down because they were, one of them was growing at the bottom of the steps, so you had to like literally walk around the tree to get down the path, so that was a little bit of a machine. But yeah, they've actually done some beautiful landscaping recently, released the ones here into the plot.
I like that you're using the same site that, less disturbance of what's grown up around and stuff, and
Exactly.
it seems like a very nice improvement, and the neighbors like it, so.
I think the location by going the other way is gracious to the environment, right? It's still there, and because the way it looks like the side where the stairs is where the embankment is, and the side that they're gonna expand on is where the drop off is, so.
The other thing I wanted to add is, when I first looked at this on paper, it seemed like, oh, that's, not much of a setback, but it's already been established, but is adding on going to affect the neighborhood in any ways. But driving by, what I noticed is this structure is much less visible than most of the garages and sheds along Maplewood. I don't know if others drove by. I took a picture. All you can really see is a roof.
Yeah.
If you try, if you look.
So, I look at that and go, if you add on 5 feet in the same distance within the setback, it's really not going to change the view at all. you know, maybe temporarily if some of the shrubs get disrupted, but I think
You're not
it's,
going up in height, oh,
Slightly.
Yeah, the roof will have to get a little high because it'll be covering more, but no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
exactly.
Um, there's one tree really close to that bunkhouse. A nice little. I think it's a beech. Healthy, because it's possible.
Would it be that guy?
It's more up where you can park,
Oh,
but so you're not gonna disrupt any of the trees or anything.
No, the ones that are drawn here are, these are all native species, the ones to the north, and those are really also active I've seen.
Sure.
Various
Right,
neighbors, the ones. These are the primary trees that we're focused on, but we're not planning to get trees down for this project or to process. And the goal is to bring in the materials like the boards and things through hopefully the neighbors to more.
Oh, okay.
I think they've had some brought the material through there. I also just want to mention that the vernacular of this farmhouse is intended to look like the existing one or the original. So it's really just a little bit bigger, a little more function, but it's the most kind of blend in like the before. Aesthetically, it's staying real dark to kind of blend in with the lines.
So can you tell me about the safety improvement? You said it's gonna be safer, or is it in imminent danger right now?
Well, the structure is, yeah, it's, you know, I mean, it was built a long time ago before the current code, so there aren't proper footers and it's just kind of floating there on some posts right now.
Those posts still active and alive, or are they
They're,
decaying?
I mean, I kicked my foot under a couple of them in the fall and there was nothing below a couple of things.
Yeah.
It's definitely not, I wouldn't recommend, they're using it for storage and they're using it right now. And that needs to be addressed. Yeah, I mean, it smells really musty. It's revised, everything's storage.
Great, thank you. Anybody have any further comments?
no, I like it.
Karen, you wanna take this out?
sure.
You have something to add?
I'm gonna say, the new information I've provided though recently, like, we're gonna have to read those. So we're not actually,
yeah, voting.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's
All
right.
right, I do have I had a question about that too, because is this two? It's gonna be two variances requested?
well, they're basically probably
Okay.
but there's gonna be more, probably more too. So I'll need to touch base with Ryan.
Okay, all right.
To ask for
But it's not changing from what we see here,
But it's more than one variance though.
but it's more than one variant.
Yeah.
They're doing lot coverage and all that, and that was kind of new.
I don't know.
There's just a few numbers I need to make sure that we're good to go for those.
All right, so this is our opportunity to ask for more information.
Well, I did notice a number on the. What the heck are those things called? Environmental. Yeah. It said they're only disturbing 700 square feet or something, which seems a little impossible.
This would be the part one, the SCA.
On the seekers.
Which I'm still totally for the project. I'm not saying it's a big deal, but I didn't know if that was a correct number.
It's a really small structure, so I think that's realistic.
Per site.
What is the overall square footage
Where are you?
of the bunkhouse?
Is that on here?
It's on my-
You have 157 existing, right?
Exactly, I think with the that. It's
315, it says the proposed bunkhouse is 155 square foot with covered porch, 160 square foot would be 350.
that's
315, sorry,
That's-
sounded like I said 50.
So I'm sorry, I heard someone say something about 700. Where is that?
Here, I'm looking it up.
Okay. Yeah, the plan is because of the site conditions to stage thing, there's a gravel. kind of side. Sort of the road right at the top of the property. We can walk to bring things in small. Yeah, amounts to be able to, we can't stage a lot of material there. But we'll bring it to the road and carry it down. It's just, as you saw, it's just a few feet from well, from Maple Road.
Okay, is this it? Total acreage of the site? No, total acreage to be physically disturbed. 470 square feet. Yeah, that's what it says. Not even 700, it says 470.
470.
I guess, I mean, you have to be really careful to do a construction project and only disturb 470 square feet.
Yeah,
But maybe that's the plan. Maybe you're doing like a surgical incision sort of construction project.
that is the plan. Yeah, we have, as I said, we just renovated the house, the new house, and we replaced the roof, we did everything by just staging incremental materials on the side of the road and walking them down. So it'll be the same process for this structure.
Okay,
And I would add that the space where we plan to put the rain garden will be a staging area before the rain gardens. That will be the last thing that will be installed. So right next to the structure, we'll have a small area to stage equipment or tools, like, saws and things like that. Small.
I know I'm gonna be asked about some of that stuff, the rain garden and, you said there's gonna be gravel and stuff like that. Can you just give us some details on that at some point, or?
Absolutely, yeah,
I mean, I'm for it too. I just wanna
yeah,
echo what
I
Cheryl
have
said.
the company that has given us the initial proposal
Yeah.
has installed several of these, and we have actually a general presentation from them, and we can share more information. They have given us the
Great.
planting and the depth and it's a 1 inch
Oh.
capacity for stormwater. Because this 1 inch.
1 inch rain
Of rain, yeah.
over what period? Just one event?
I think it's 24 hours. I don't remember exactly. I've just been working on.
I'm probably gonna ask you, because I'm really concerned, I'm very concerned actually about the bigger rainfalls we've had. We've had some good ones. And not too far from there, we had like a 5 inch just a couple of years ago, right there.
Yeah,
I think we're getting 1 inch and more frequently right in that area, in that region. So what do you do with that, with the overflow, Cheryl had a good point, we're trying to protect trees and the roots too, of course, and erosion and all that. Just cut that place out.
yeah, I guess in the winter it might be a different scenario, but there's vegetation all over the property, right?
That helps, right?
Helps absorb and slow down in the more the south winds.
And I like you be using this as a diffuser to kind of overflow, kind of a basin there, but
Yeah, and if there's a,
Some-
if there's a need, as you mentioned, for a larger scale, that's something we can certainly.
I don't know, I just wondered if you're thinking about it and then thinking about where to go with it. I don't, the usual is to dump it off to the side and send it to the nearest gully, which is just terrible idea.
Yeah,
Maybe okay.
I mean, it
for you.
seems like this is definitely an improvement over what's there.
Agreed.
Is even
Right.
by slightly increasing the footprint of the building, putting
Yep.
this in, I think
Making
is a
other considerations of.
greater mitigation, yeah.
Agreed, yep,
And
agreed.
I mean, I agree. We
I'm
had,
just worried about the house down slope, you start doing stuff.
no, I know, and we have had probably at least 3 rainfalls this year that exceeded an inch in 24 hours.
Right down the road from them. Right?
Well, yeah, I assume they would have had similar rain there.
Yep.
But I mean, I'm not sure you necessarily build something for
No, but
the
you
worst
wanna
case
consider
scenario.
it when you're making something, you definitely. wanna
Right,
consider
but
it.
if there's a way to expand it slightly maybe and have it handle a capacity of 2 inches, because it seems like we're getting a lot more of
Oh, it
those.
is. Oh,
2 inch
it's my job.
rains,
Very more.
Yeah, I mean, I measured as of 7 a.m. this morning, we had an inch between 10 p.m. and 7 a.m. and then it drizzled the rest of the day. I mean, this rain yesterday was great because it was a slow
Yeah.
drizzle. It soaked in, but we do get rains where it was was it like July 3rd or something?
Where
It was like an inch in 1 hour. Yeah.
And continue. Anyway, yeah, sorry, keep your hand up.
I was saying, this when we first learned about this, it was actually really exciting to us. If it wasn't like, oh, this is some thing we need to do, we get really excited about it being a natural beautification and actually figuring out how we can enhance this landscape.
Mhm.
In terms of rocks and slope and and really, you know, my philosophy, which is not shared by a lot of neighbors, is that this shouldn't feel heavily landscaped. It shouldn't be a golf course type lawn. I mean, we look right across at Lansing and it's a different deal than what they're doing over there.
Sure is, right?
And so it feels like this is actually an opportunity to use the best of tools that are available in the landscaping world to make something that's actually beautiful and utilitarian and it reflects the landscape and actually ties it all together. So we haven't gone very far down the road of in terms of design, but it's something that my wife and I are really excited about working on with the landscapers and figuring out to do this. That's just where we are.
Yeah, it seemed like a neat thing.
Yeah,
Has planning
so
seen
far so good.
the rendering of the building? The
Yeah.
planning board, has the planning board seen the rendering of the?
No.
I was just curious, if they're gonna be excited because they have your dark sky, downward sky lighting on it and stuff like that, so you've obviously already.
We discussed the
Yeah.
concept, this has been evolving, we've gone through this process.
It looks great. I mean, it's very gracious to the environment from, just from the drawing, and the lights just caught my attention because they're sometimes a source of conversation with the planning board. So I think it's great that you guys are already ahead of the game.
It's a really fun and beautiful project to work on, and I think I appreciate the consideration of the ring. It is,
It's for the property, for you guys,
yeah, no, I think.
it's what you're here or not,
Talking
the
about-
rain's still gonna come and it's gonna go somewhere
Yeah.
down that hill, guaranteed,
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity and.
It's different from when you grew up and when you guys remember, it's different, it's getting different fast too.
Yeah, so you have a good opportunity to do something there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love it, I love the way you're thinking, I really like that philosophy and the other people. So I don't really have any conditions, do you guys have any super conditions and present to us some more evolved facts or whatever, the next time around? What are we thinking of? Next meeting, or is it gonna take longer?
That's gonna be my query to you guys. Part of the new requests or combined request is gonna trigger environmental review. Yes, so under state law, there's some actions, most of the actions that you guys review states determine to be type 2 actions.
Yeah.
There are some variances here that would be considered an unlisted action, so the planning board could actually lead agency. That's gonna exacerbate the timeline.
Why, because it's the lake and all that stuff and the slopes and
No, because for state law, the planning board would have to give notice to intent to act as lead agency. That's a month.
Wait, what's happening that they have to get involved?
If an agency declares intent to act as lead agency when there are multiple agencies that have jurisdictional authority, that agency has to give notice under state law, that's 30 days. Or they can issue a determination.
so
But
the
I don't
planning board will
understand
be lead agency.
So why is the planning board getting involved? Oh,
Segment. So my question to the BZA to you guys is, you can, for state law, act as an uncoordinated review, which would then allow you to make a decision in September. If you don't do that, if the planning board acts as lead agency, you wouldn't be able to make a decision.
So uncoordinated, say the words again, an uncoordinated,
So uncoordinated review,
oh,
the planning board would conduct seeker for site plan review,
Yep.
would conduct seeker for the variances. And issue, potentially go through your hearing, issue the.
so it'd be like a simultaneous, we'll go through another little thing.
But if you want the planning board to act as the agency, they have to give due notice 30 days before they can issue a decision, and just the way the timing.
Yep.
Each was
It's gonna be another month,
going to be told.
November, like Thanksgiving, or week. So
Sorry, but why is this going to the planning board? What is the triggering that?
Site plan review,
But why, what's triggering that it needs site plan review?
because it's in a unique natural area. And the lake shore.
That triggers
all three.
any one of those three?
If it's in a steep slope. It triggers a different thing you need,
Okay,
or even if it's just a small gazebo,
either one of those things.
it's.
Wow, okay.
But
So
you
they
said
have to
there's
get
a
involved.
workaround? I'm sorry, but you said there's a work, I didn't mean to cut you off, Cheryl. There's a workaround, like if there's a way that it could stay with the BZA and not have to go through
No, they
planning
would
and
still have
delay
to
it?
do it, but we could do it uncoordinated,
That's
so we're not coordinating with them.
Okay, that's what I was trying to understand, because it sounded like there was two paths. The one path sounded like it would be extending it to November, which doesn't sound amazing for the applicants, but it sounded like there was an alternate path that could help us get them there quicker.
That's if the BZA does an uncoordinated environmental review.
How do we do that? Do we have to like,
You vote
It
and
would
that
be part of the notice. And you have to issue a separate resolution prior to your decision, so.
is it contentious if we do that, though? Is it one of those things where,
It's done it previously.
okay,
Ultimately, I don't like saying this on record. Ultimately, what you're trying to issue a decision on with seeker is whether or not you need an environmental impact statement or EIS for short. I would be surprised if anything like this would ever trigger anything else.
okay.
But you have to go through the website.
I don't feel like we're that able to review a seeker, like we're not trained that well to do that. So you-
Well, BZA to last year. I want to say it's Jacksonville, maybe. One of the projects. The Burke, you did them coordinated. Last year.
And we can make that decision. And we can make that decision as whether it has needs a IFS or whatever.
It's a determination. But
And you'll tell us the criteria.
there's no criteria, you're just looking at it. Part one, that SCAF that you just looked at, and the burden on the board would be to determine whether any of those items create a moderate to significant impact.
In our opinion. We can do that.
I don't mean to keep air quoting you, I just wasn't sure, I was like. So if we do a seeker review. You would still be part of it, and as the town planner, you have that expertise, so you would still be guiding us through the process, right? Okay. Great,
Okay, so what's the timeline on that? Because that sounds like we have to all be here, sitting here doing that or something.
You would need a quorum, of course. But if you if you're comfortable with doing an uncoordinated review, then we'll just do it part of the notice. And essentially, you're hearing. Close the hearing. Then issue a determination of the importance on seeker. Then issue a decision on variance.
If the decision of significance is negative. And if it's positive, then we don't. Go ahead.
If it's positive, then you have to tell the applicant they have to do an EIS, and that's. Going to be able to do anything.
It would be quick anyway, so it doesn't.
But I just want, that's probably, like you said, that's not how.
Well, also, is the 1 month material, what is the preferred timeline? Are you trying to get something done before winter?
Yes,
Okay.
Okay,
we are. Here's.
okay.
Yeah, you're here a lot out of the year, so we're trying to. Put some new ways to have it, closed in so we can get to work through the winter.
I mean, I think then we should do what we can to expedite it if it's
So then we're,
agreed that it's within our capacity to do so.
so functionally, we would be fast tracking, basically, they still have to go to planning board, but we could be doing both things at once instead of waiting and then.
Wait the extra 30 days.
It's just part of that uncoordinated review. So,
Is that you can do two things at once, kind of, two different boards.
Yeah, I just can't stop. I do this all the time. So I was like, no, I do it all the time. So it was just making me giggle. I'm happy with whatever we can do to help facilitate, fast track it. I agree with Cheryl. I mean, I've only ever gone through the secret process myself. I don't know that I'm comfortable by myself, obviously reviewing one, but Niels, I mean, that's what we have you for, and you can help lead us through it.
And what I can do is all for what's called part 2 and part 3 of the, just so you can. So,
And do we all have to be together to do that, or can we look at it individually? I mean, you give us materials.
you can look at it individually, but please don't discuss it
Sure, all right.
as a board. Unless there are any.
And I think I would like to call on Andy's expertise in some of this stuff too, so that's fine. Sure, the only reason I'm not jumping all over this is because I might be away. So you guys have with that?
That's it. Really? For,
We're gonna be down in numbers too, because
September?
Andy's still out. Andy did surgery and he's gonna be doing surgeries too.
September 17th.
you're done.
17? That's gonna be close to. Might be good. Watch you, are you?
I'm anticipating being here.
Me too.
I could do that if I'm here for sure. No, you guys come on.
And you can stick.
I'm very unexciting. I go nowhere.
But you also said you might not be.
Oh, no, just, it was the 5-year commitment for the full-time. Yeah.
5 year. No,
Okay,
we
whatever.
renew every year. Get out of here. You wish.
Okay.
But no.
Yes, Cheryl, yes, my intent is to stick around.
Okay.
And just the 5-year thing was a little daunting for me at first, especially after I'd only been with you guys a couple of meetings. So
Not sure who's pretty through that.
Oh, yeah. Steve, thanks for this.
Sure.
Or it's,
I'll save it for
I
next.
forget the exact term, but you can attend remotely and vote remotely.
Oh, yeah.
With restrictions on that.
You just need a quorum in person. So Jonathan,
Yeah, right.
then you have a quorum, and if you're off-site,
Yeah, find out the details of that, the restrictions of that.
Well, that
It was
would be,
weird for a long time. You had to be next door. You didn't have to be in this room, but you had to be in the room next door.
and then we might need him to vote in her. We gotta get it. Oh, no, she doesn't want to.
Well, no, I think that because Jonathan is now
Jonathan's here, right?
I don't think it's an option for me anymore because Jonathan is will be the appointed board member and I will remain as an alternate, because
Right.
that's the way the board is structured, I
Right.
think, if I'm saying that right.
If that happens.
Yeah,
That's-
yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, Cheryl.
Okay, great, excellent. Anything else, Nathan? Thank you very much. We'll try, we're talking about the meeting next month, but it's. November seems a little bit late for all.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you can get started and you can close the structure. I like that. It's good. Thank you. Nice job and nice keep. I like what you're thinking and all you're going. Thanks for doing.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a good night too.
I'm kind of.
You have anything else?
Let me skip. one.
Yeah, he's gonna be mad. That's a long time. I can do it real quick.
I think it's to do the one. It's all right.
I recommend that one more time.
The one?
Do it. It's fine. Good more than. A long one by. There is a.
I don't know, there was a 7-page one that I was like, oh, can't do that.
I don't know, I mean, I have. A comma in an inserted line and I have two very small things that said in both of them.
Yeah, I didn't. I look at them at a very
The
big picture
proposal.
way.
The proposal, yeah, what you think, okay?
Yeah, I wasn't nitpicking
You
about
guys are agree
commas.
with me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I read through it, I was like,
Yeah.
Fine, same big picture. Okay, I think I want to do the minutes right now, otherwise we're getting really old and long. But I only have, great job, by the way, whoever was doing Carissa and you, right? No, who did it? You, no, you're the boss. No, we did April, I can't remember, so it doesn't matter. And so, yeah, thank you. All right, so April, let's go to April, you ready? All right, I have only two things. One of them's a comma on the first, that first section of things where members of the public present. Put a comma in there somewhere, anywhere out there.
The one between Diane and Sam, yeah.
Yeah. I thought, wow, that's a cool move. And then on page 3, I'd like to add that it says, let's see, 1, 2, third, statement in. Chair Morielli suggested that having more information about culverts could reduce concerns. Okay, oh, I see, that's the next one down, sorry. Discussion ensued over the encroachment. But I don't think we talked about the encroachment before that, so I said with the, it doesn't matter either, with the neighboring property line. Is what I added, lot line. So encroachment with the neighboring property lot line. Nice job, thank you very much, excellent, that's all I came up with. You guys are okay with the general stuff too?
Yeah.
On both of them? Or in the first one?
No, I guess.
Just on one,
Yeah.
okay, we're just doing one. We're doing
Okay.
April.
Yeah, the other one, this is,
Should we vote for one at a time or
sure,
or both
Okay.
at once?
so I make a motion, somebody makes a motion to approve these, I will.
Okay.
It's rare, but I will, make a motion to approve the minutes, that minute,
And I'll second.
This is April.
thank you. Vote,
April, yes, second,
Yes.
I think you just seconded, right?
yeah.
And I'm sorry, did you say vote?
Yeah.
Aye.
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 Okay, thanks, nice job, no, motion carries. Let's go to the minutes of 16 May, and same thing, you guys just general and you're fine with it, all right, I have page 5 and page 7, very small comments, let's go to page 5 and see what that. Oh, page 5, number 5, the proposed area variances, 50-foot buffers, that one. The last sentence, the driveway already exists and with the conditions of approval, that was. Because we were saying conditions for something else, so that was it, conditions of approval.
That was number 5, isn't it?
Page, yeah, number 5, yeah.
I had a question about number 9. I think it might just be a duplicated sentence. There's no other way to access the property. There is no other access
it was.
property. Or did you already say that?
No, it's duplicated a bunch of times.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you'd already said that. I
I
apologize.
didn't. So what you didn't like it?
Well, that
It's-
there is no other access property should be deleted.
Yeah, it looked like it was duplicated in the same,
I
like,
did not say.
in the same paragraph,
Good one.
like just,
So the second one, yeah, is just truncated at the end too. There's no other access property should be deleted. Okay, thank you. Good one. Thanks, Kim. And then page 7, I don't really know what all that stuff is. I really didn't get it. But 618. The last sentence, is that truncated sentence?
Transcript or something.
that's exactly what it looks like.
Yeah,
I
all right.
don't know why it would be in there, maybe it's on the-
Okay, following that approval, the town constructed something. Nice job.
So what are you
Yeah,
gonna do with all that?
Yeah, so the 6, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, are you deleting all that? Or why is it not supposed to be in there?
No, I don't know what they are. I didn't know what.
It
there
looked
is
very like,
anything.
much like a transcript from a Zoom meeting. That's usually what it looks like.
She was watching it on.
No, like, I would do
online.
it if it were my meeting. I would take the transcription of the meeting and then probably summarize it from there. Is it the one Chris?
Oh, yeah, we should, it looks like
Yeah, I didn't-
everything
I
after.
don't think you did. Yeah, so as I said, that's why I was like,
Yeah,
I don't
Chris-
think Molly,
yeah.
yeah, so I think that it's just was unintentionally left there.
Right, everything
Yeah.
after respectfully submitted, it looks like it shouldn't be there.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
what
got-
about the public comment at the end after?
We're writing in full support of Chad Duell's application. That sounds like also a transcription because it's
no, that's all
little.
transcript, I think.
That should probably go, right?
The residence 5134 Curry Road.
My gut was it just was meant to be,
Zoom did it too.
Yeah, I think that should be gone. It's a mistake.
and then just stop it respectfully submitted by Carissa.
And we'll do all that.
Well, it looks like, yeah.
I don't even know what that was. It wasn't at the meeting anyway, so. Okay, good. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Wait, to approve or not approve this?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm racing on.
Motion
put
to
up a-
approve.
Second that, anybody?
Second.
Okay, good. All in
Aye.
favor?
I'm gonna abstain on this one because I didn't get a chance to read it.
Aye.
I,
Okay, motion carries, one abstention. Thank you. Anybody want to move to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
I second.
Okay, I third it.
I.
Okay, vote aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you.